Alright guys, let's talk about business. Welcome to the video. My name is Brando Linick, and this is going to be just a quick, candid conversation, a review I guess you could say, on how to actually start a bike sharing business. Now I'm going to be sharing with you principles based on the business that you have to know, because there's a lot of different ways you can actually start out a bike sharing business. You can start out with just traditional bicycles. You can start out with buying electronical bikes. The difference with the two is with the electronical bikes, it's a traditional bike but with a tracking GPS system on it, so if anything happens to the bike, if someone tries to steal it, you can always find the bike. But that's, in a sense, a couple different ideas and ways you could start it. Okay, from that point on, I would suggest, what I've seen with people who have done it, going to where there's a lot of foot traffic, a lot of people walking, because where there's campuses, where there's people walking, there's more so opportunity to actually offer your bike sharing business, alright, to have people rent out your bike services and have it for the day, have it for the week, or however long you want to schedule out the bikes. Now, when it comes to this business model, you got to keep in mind, when dealing with bikes, when dealing with the supplies and equipment, there's a lot of things you got to be aware of. Like if a chain is linked up into the bike and it falls off, and then this person all of a sudden gets hit by a car, that's a liability on yourself. So from a business standpoint, you got to be aware of the precautions, okay, and a lot of the things that take place with the business model. And if you don't have a lot of bikes, like if you're looking at this and you're not looking at it from a franchising perspective where you can create a little bit more leverage and flexibility, I would suggest, before you consider starting a bike sharing business, if you're looking at this because you want to start a simple business you can make money at, which is very similar to the reason why a close friend of mine had started a bike sharing business. Alright, they just wanted to make money, they knew it was a simple business, they had bikes before, and they were more than willing to help rent it out to people who were wanting it and in need. And if you're looking at it for very similar reasons, okay, I would advise you, before you consider spending a bunch of money on a bunch of bikes, okay, that might get damaged, before you head down this path, dealing with supplies and equipment and managing and maintaining it and trying to track it down, alright, before you go through those stresses, if you hear me out here for a minute, I've got a tip I want to throw your way. And my story with this goes back about a year ago, when I transitioned from a traditional brick and mortar business dealing with supplies and equipment, alright, and I went from that and came across a person who was building a business that was highly profitable. Their profit margins were like way higher than mine. I mean, this person didn't deal with supplies, they didn't have equipment, they weren't creating their own products and services, they didn't have employees, they didn't even have a storefront or an office. They were working from home on the internet, and I'm not going to tell you the internet's the only way to go to build a business, but if you hear me out, this is really critical. If you're looking to build a business to get results that you want, whether that's time, freedom, flexibility, or leverage, because this person had the time freedom and flexibility and location freedom to pick up, travel wherever there was internet access, build their business at the same time without it ever slumping. And because they had that mobility, I started to model and copy what they're doing with their permission. I had reached out to them on Facebook. Luckily, they reached back to me, started to model them. In less than my first month and total of 90 days, created a full-time income business for myself, working it part-time, not average or typical, again, not guaranteeing you the same results, because I worked my butt off, worked hard, had to learn some things like you'd have to do in any business. But the cool part is, I didn't have to deal with supplies and equipment. I didn't have to deal with maintaining and managing that and trying to track it down if it ever got stolen. And because I didn't have to deal with that, I can't emphasize enough, if you're looking at starting a business, a bicycle sharing business, because you want to start a simple business to make money, if that's what you're looking for, learn to start a business on the internet, learn to build a business online, and connect with someone who's building a business online. I know there's a lot of noise and businesses and opportunities out there on the internet. Best thing you could do, save you a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, just connect with someone who's already doing it, who's willing to connect with you. It's what worked for me, and if it can work for me, it can definitely work for you. So if you're an opportunist and you're looking to create a high profitable business model where you can afford not just what you want to do, have the time freedom to enjoy that, whether that's traveling more, whether that's to spend more time with your family, whether that's to be able to afford the cars, the clothes, the homes that you want. If you're following me and this makes sense to you, and you want to learn to build a business on the internet, connect with me on my site after and ending this video. It's 123marketingtips.com. I'll put the link in the description. And even if you don't connect with me, alright, I'll still bless you on your way out. I hope this video was helpful for you and just gives you a good overview in this review on how it works, the mechanics behind it, what you need to be aware of to be able to make an educated decision. Not necessarily the how-to step-by-step detail, but the principles behind the business to know what it really requires, what it really takes. So I figured I'd share that with you, and now I gotta go, but it's been fun talking with you, and I look forward to seeing your success, seeing you on the beaches of the world. Take care.